All right. So, what is up, YouTube? All right. So, I am Hyper.combo.comics, and holy shit, there's so much glare in my camera. All right. Damn. Okay, I wasn't expecting this much glare. All right, but listen, welcome to my second ever live stream on YouTube. The first one I think almost was almost 2 years ago, so it's been a long time coming. And as you know from the title, I'm gonna be doing a bit of a recap on my experience with Fan Expo from last weekend. But before we get into it, I want to actually bring in a special guest to actually bring on so I can kind of bounce some ideas and just generally shoot the shit with. So, guys, please welcome Rocksteady.
What up, playa?
What is up? So, I know that me and you have been talking about doing a stream at some point because lately we've been kind of collecting the same we've been kind of on the same almost path in terms of what we kind of collect in terms of ghosts and variants and all that. So I figure, all right, let's pop the cherry and do the first one here tonight.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy to be here. Yeah, we do collect a lot of the same stuff, and it works because we have such different turf that we hunt on. There's no
I'm
way
glad.
if
I'm
we
glad
lived in the
because
same city, we would be mortal enemies.
I was just telling this like when I was meeting some of the guys at Fan Expo over the weekend. You know, like Just Cruz is a good hunter. Marvel is a good hunter. There's a couple of good hunters in this community. Like Dude is a low key good hunter. There's a lot of good hunters, so it's almost a good thing that we're kind of separated by different area codes and all that. I mean, I think the only two people in my vicinity is Black Crown and Pacino, and but yeah, honestly, if we were all in that same radius, it would be some stiff competition.
Low key, like in my community, there's nobody else like I don't think in the YouTube space. But there's some hunters, and like deep down when they find something, you're like, yeah, way to go, and like you're just thinking like, how did I miss that?
How did
Or
I miss that? Yeah, yeah,
if I
dude.
changed my route that day and went there first, I would have had that stuff like that.
That happened a couple of times with BC and Pacino, where they'll show me stuff at the LCS that I would have either walked out of or just passed. And I'm like, how the hell did I miss that? And then vice versa, I've shown them stuff, so it works both ways.
But you're
But
a hunter, and I think your strategy where it's just like just be regular. That's all it is. It's not about right time at the right place, because how many times do you go and you hit nothing? You
no,
know?
no, no, exactly. And I kind of find it's all about. It's like what Wayne Gretzky said. Like you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So honestly, for me, it's really about like shooting fish in a barrel. Like I go to my LCS regularly because I literally am 15 minutes away from it. So I don't always come away with something, but there's a higher chance I do find something just because of the frequency of how much I go to my LCS, right?
And you begin to know their inventory so you can tell what's new and different. You don't have to go back and look at the same book twice or anything like that, right?
Exactly. But listen, before we get carried away, I want to acknowledge the chat. They've been patient. Guys, trust me, you have no idea how grateful I am that you guys have tuned in. Again, second show of the night, and the fact that you guys turned up, just really appreciate it. So I'm gonna highlight. Listen. Second show, I might miss some comments here and there, so kind of cut me some slack, but I'm gonna try my best. All right, so
I'll
we're
help
gonna
you out.
start off
I'll
with
help you out.
Mr. Michael Baker. Listen, officially a wrench member right now. I figured out how to get wrenches. Welcome. You got gold medal. AOA. You said you're gonna spam the chat. You weren't lying. So you guys were tailgating before the show started. So appreciate that.
What up?
This guy I recognize.
I know that guy.
Rock steady. Dave collects from the
What's
Spine
up?
Ticks channel. Definitely check them out. Saturdays at 11 p.m. Always a good time on that channel. I've been there a few times as a guest and just as a viewer. Always a great time on Spine Ticks. Let's see who else. Dude, Keys, happy that you came back on the Show Me Your Hall show. It's been a while. It's been a long time coming. Hopefully we see you more often on YouTube. So good to see you, buddy. And I know you usually are in bed by this time, so I appreciate you joining me in the chat. And yeah, Vic, I appreciate it. Yeah, there will
Yeah,
be maybe some fuck ups here and there, but I'm gonna try my best to kind of keep it together. Jeez, the chat. I'm
that's
more
what
deep
makes
in the
it
chat.
fun.
Gomez, listen, another hunter. I was actually chatting with Gomez from the East Side, East Meets West crew. He's also another hunter in the East Coast. Dude has some bangers in his collection. Let's
What up?
see. K-Man, I was on the show with him as well. Show me your haul. Again, dude, you're pulling a double header. You were on the show, now you're on my show. Appreciate you, dude, for taking the time out. Mr. Black Crown Comics.
My brother.
I gotta tip the hat on the success he's having with his YouTube channel. He's doing big things. So definitely follow his channel on Sundays at 9 o'clock. Sorry, I keep mixing
Yeah.
him up with newbies time. It's 9 o'clock on Sundays. Definitely, he always has some banger guests on, and dude knows this shit. I'll try not to. I'll try not to, VC.
I'm here to point it out if he does.
Yeah, you're like my moderator.
Yeah, exactly. I have the wrench in the actual show.
Do you?
Yeah.
Did I give you a wrench?
No, I don't have a wrench.
Okay, there's a couple of people I need to give wrenches to. Yeah, I'll probably be doing that sporadically. But all right, listen. I think I highlighted everyone in the chat so far. If anyone joins, I'll be sure to highlight them. Or Rocksteady, if I miss someone, yeah, please
I
definitely
got
let me
you.
know. All right, so listen. Fan Expo was last weekend. Went on Thursday and stayed for the whole 4 days. Uh, it's been about 4 years since I went to Fan Expo. The last time I went was actually pre-pandemic. So honestly, dude, I went more out of curiosity more than anything. I wanted to see how things have changed since the last time I went. Because the last Fan Expo experience back in 2019, I remember it being a positive one because I did get some good deals and did go to get some cool panels and did get some, good SIGs and arts and all that. So I kind of wanted to see if I was kind of gonna get that same vibe from this Fan Expo. So honestly, I'm not gonna say I went there I guess I was a bit excited, but I was more curious how my experience would have changed from 4 years ago to now.
That's exactly what you were saying leading up to it, because you were asking a bunch of questions of a bunch of us, like um, what it's like and negotiating there and what to expect kind of thing. And I'm curious to see if it was what we told you it was going to be. I saw some of the stuff you got when you posted on Instagram and sent me messages, so it was successful for sure. But yeah, curious to hear your full experience there. Like, I want to kind of hear, like, from the get-go, like how many people were on each day, like even walking up to the gates, what it was like getting in and stuff like that.
So okay, so right off the bat, I'll tell you in terms of the attendance, it does feel like things have kind of exploded attendance wise compared to when I went 4 years ago. Which honestly, I kind of was a bit surprised because I figured not that comics have died down, but I figured because when I went 2019, that was right around the time of Endgame, and the MCU was at an all-time high, fandom was at an all-time high. I honestly didn't. I was actually kind of surprised, I guess you could say, at the level of attendance that was at Fan Expo, but it was definitely, especially Saturday. Saturday was a very crowded experience. Listen, guys,
Mhm.
if you guys are not a fan of crowds or you're claustrophobic, these kind of shows are definitely not for you. Even the aisles where it's supposed to be, meant for general free walking, even there you feel like you're playing Assassin's Creed and you're kind of
Yeah.
going through crowds. So
One tip I'll give to people: if you just want to go and look at the costumes, like literally the people in the costumes can't walk through there because their costumes will just get annihilated. So if you
I
do like the
yeah.
perimeter and the pedways and stuff like that, that's where everybody in cosplay is hanging out because they aren't getting annihilated. Like, it's literally shoulder to shoulder everywhere you go, like the entire place.
Yeah, and the thing is, oddly enough, the comic section wasn't as crowded because, like, they kind of segment different vendors, right? I feel like when you go to Artist Alley, that's where it really gets crowded, like where the artists are signing signatures or original art.
Okay.
That section itself felt like you really had to maneuver. comics weren't that. I mean, they were crowded, but they weren't that bad. I thought I had to be elbow to elbow when I'm hunting, but it wasn't as
One
bad as I
second. I
expected.
forgot my girlfriend doesn't have a key. I gotta let her in.
All right, no worries, no worries. But yeah, so honestly, guys, like the in terms of the crowd experience, it was a bit more higher than I expected. I honestly didn't think we were gonna get that many people. Okay, yo, Gomez. Yeah, I didn't want to address this because I like like it's a cliche, but you know what? When it comes to it's inevitable when you're gonna have a large crowd. That that's almost a certainty at this point.
And your arms are like this, right? So it's just like breezing
Dude,
right through.
listen. I've had my arm. I would like to think that basic hygiene should go a long way, especially
Shit.
for cons like this. You would think that some body wash and some deodorant. I'm honestly surprised that we like. I remember when I went to Fan Expo last time. Axe was, I think, one of the sponsors, and they were handing out samples or something. I'm surprised we had
That's
none of
perfect.
that at this Fan Expo. Okay, so I actually didn't go to the food court as much, so I'll take your word on that, K-Man. But yeah,
How much was food there? Was it super expensive?
it was. I mean, it's almost like it's pretty much like when you go to like a ball game, kind of expensive. Like a muffin was like $5, and like a
Really?
sandwich was like an $11 like
Yeah.
basic tuna sandwich was like $11. So
Yeah.
it's like standard fare when you go to like a ball game or like any sporting event like that kind of stuff. So honestly, I usually just pack my food, or I just wait until because I'm used to not eating for an extended period, so I'll just wait until the expo's over and then I'll grab dinner or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, and it's not exactly and you get like the Lester mini hot dogs. You don't even get the actual
Franks.
the Franks. But yeah, but honestly, so crowds was one thing. The other thing is okay. So you alluded to it at this point about prices and all that. So I kind of made this point on newbies chat. The thing, well, let me read this. There for books and don't care. Yeah, yeah, I get it, but I mean, I don't know. There is something called self-respect. I would have figured that some people might have, but clearly, yeah, you're right. Maybe they really didn't give two shits. Yeah. Don't worry, you can catch the rewind on that BC. We had a whole segment on Bios, but
No one was targeted.
no one was targeted. We don't do that. Yeah, that's true. That's the other thing. There was a lot of stuff going on in the city of Toronto. We had the CNE. There's a Blue Jays game, and I think there was like a Korean festival and like a Caribbean. There's a lot of stuff going on in the city itself. So not just in Fan Expo, the arena, but outside the city, like walking distance, even on Queen Street. Like you've been to Toronto, obviously, the downtown.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dude, just going from like one like block to another, it felt like you literally were at a snail's pace because you're going with the crowd. You couldn't even overtake them at some point.
Yeah.
You
I
basically
know
just
exactly what you mean.
yeah. So you kind of had to you had to cross the sidewalk just so you can move faster.
Did they have police and stuff?
They did have
Yeah.
police. They barricaded streets and all that. So yeah, that was because these kind of things situations happen, right? Uni X, what is up?
What up?
Thanks for
So
joining
yeah,
in, man.
imagine driving there. Like it's even worse than
Dude,
walking.
I listen. God bless people that can drive to the Union Center, but I basically booked my Airbnb and I took the subway from the station
The
to the
way to do
expo
it.
because you will not catch me dead driving in that area, dude. There's cars literally, even when they had the light, people still didn't finish crossing the
And they
pedestrian
just
walk.
block the other way.
They'll walk. They don't give it. They know that cars are not going to hit them, so they'll jaywalk and anything. So it's almost like you're better off taking the subway.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we won't have to get into that how I drove into a one-way street in Ottawa.
That's for another show.
That's for another show. But listen, you alluded to this before in terms of pricing. So I know a lot of people are asking in terms of how is it in terms of vendors deals. Okay, this is a comment I made on Newbie Show. Deals can be had at these big shows like Fan Expo. The thing is, I kind of find, and I'm a hunter, you're a hunter. I kind of find that you had to work extra hard to get those deals. It wasn't even ironically, there's a lot of vendors, but I kind of find that you actually had to work harder to find those gems if you're looking for them. If you're looking for just basic run fillers and all that, there's plenty of those. But if you're like the type like me that kind of likes to dig through bins and kind of find like, oh shoot, like I found this, you're gonna have to put in a bit more of an elbow grease to kind of find those. Because dude, like vendors were the wall books on some of these vendors. I'm curious if they know that we're in a downturn in the economy. I'm seeing pandemic prices for almost the majority of these vendors.
Even higher because it's the stuff they priced during the pandemic and was too expensive then, and nobody wanted it. It's still there. Like I'm trying to do the SpongeBob run, and last Fan Expo I went to in Toronto, they wanted like $12, $14 an issue. And like, okay, but nobody who's collecting SpongeBob is going to pay that for each issue. Like the odd issue might go for that, but man, I'm not going. I want the $5 and $2 bins, you know?
Dude, I'm gonna give you you mentioned SpongeBob. I actually did see a SpongeBob actually in I think SpongeBob one. I forgot. I think it was like over. It wasn't even a graded copy, and it was over $100. And it wasn't exactly in great condition either. I'll just put it
Yeah,
that way.
okay. Yeah,
Um,
they do fetch a pretty penny, but yeah, that's just it. It's these prices, and they don't reprice them. But a lot of the keys, I think the collect or the dealers feel like we do. Like now's the time to buy, not sell. Like, why would they move them at this point?
yeah, and the thing is, Unix brought up a good point in terms of books are overpriced before you can negotiate. And the thing is, that's the thing I do. Like when I go to a lot of these shows, I'm not. I know some people are a bit shy to do this. I'm not afraid to haggle. Like obviously, I don't lowball to the point that I insult the vendor, but I will try to see if I can strike a deal. The problem is with a lot of these vendors, when you reach that middle ground, you're basically paying FMV with some of these prices that they're already charging. So it's almost like you're already behind the eight ball with some of these books to begin with. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. We were talking about this before on IG. I'm looking for that John Bernthal Punisher 218. You know the Netflix variant,
The photo variant, yeah.
the photo variant. Only one vendor had that book, and he must have known he was the only vendor with that book. He basically was pricing a raw copy, not a graded copy, a raw copy for $350.
But
Three
who's
fifty
gonna?
bucks. And I'm seeing it auctioned on eBay.
I
I literally went on eBay right now.
So the con is a different beast, right? So the con, people see things. People who don't have time to go picking and digging through long boxes and stuff like that, they see something and they want it because think about the investment just to get in. What did your weekend pass cost?
My weekend pass, it cost me with tax and everything was like 140 Canadian.
Okay, that's not as bad as some of them, but
I didn't pay the deluxe. I just paid just for the just basic entry. I know the deluxe you have to pay like $50 more to get priority entrance and all that.
so $190 if you want deluxe.
Exactly.
Just for the opportunity to shop. So you better take advantage of like the panels and everything like that if you're gonna go to these.
Yeah, and I was actually gonna get to that, but before we do that, there's one more person that just joined. Spine Ticks, aka Sith Lordy, welcome to my second live show. I've been to your show many a time, so I'm glad that now the tables have reversed and you're able to kind of see me in my element and basically roast me in my chat. So definitely check out Spine Ticks at 11 p.m. on Saturday, guys, like I mentioned before. But appreciate you, Sith, for being here. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, the admission itself, it's you're right. The thing is, you kind of have to find value in other areas besides just deals. And I'll get to that in my later point of how you can find some value at the Fan Expo besides just the obvious, like just getting deals on books. The other thing though is I know the rationale that some people use is vendors. I'm told that like a table at Fan Expo is about $2,000 and vendors need to make up the money. I get that, but here's my thing though. You got to make up your $2,000, but if you're pricing your books that is turning people off, you're basically your shop basically turns into a museum, and you're not really like, are you really okay? So maybe you might be able to catch the unassuming customer that doesn't really do the research, and then they just want to buy keys for the sake of buying keys. Yeah, you might be able to catch those, but people that generally are savvy collectors, they know what the prices are. So when they see vendors with over the top, wall prices, they're gonna. I personally get turned away from vendors and I move somewhere else to kind of find my deals.
Yeah, agreed.
So yeah, but I will. But despite all that, I did find some good books, which I'll show at the end. But okay, so you mentioned about finding value in other areas, right? Besides books, for me, it's the panels. One thing I did like about this year's Fan Expo, I did take advantage of at least one or two panels per day, except for Thursday. Thursday, I was completely beat, and I just had to go to my Airbnb. And that's the thing with panels. I know some people are not a fan of them because you just sit and listen to people. I actually do enjoy it because I went to some pretty cool panels. Like if you followed my IG, I went to see Cobra Kai, like Ralph Macchio, uh, the guy who plays Johnny Lawrence. William Zabka, and the guy who played the third. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank.
You were there,
Uh,
man.
Sorry,
You were there. It'll
I know I'm
come.
drawing a blank on this dude's. Anyways, three guys from Cobra Kai I saw on Friday, so that was pretty cool because that's actually one of my favorite Netflix shows. So I enjoyed that. And hold on, before I go on, I gotta acknowledge cousin Phil. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you being here. And Drac was actually at the Fan Expo. I actually bumped into
Nice.
him
That's a good guy.
at Artist Alley. We took a picture together. We didn't get a chance much to mingle too much because, like I said, it was very busy, crowded, and we were just going our own ways and all that. But happy to run into you, Drac. Hopefully, we can cross paths again. But yeah, honestly, I did like the panels that I attended. I saw the Daredevil panel with Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, and John Bernthal.
That's
Now,
cool.
the only downside about some of these panels is, as you're aware, there's a SAG actress strike going on, right?
Yeah.
So the problem is the moderator couldn't ask any questions related to their past projects or future projects. So literally, basically, these panels became almost like a fluff piece. Like,
So just personal.
yeah, so like Minya, who played Chun Li, and Fennec Chan and Mulan, she was talking about at one point how she enjoys to cook and all that. And John Bernthal was talking about his podcast, and like Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio were talking about how they haven't tried ketchup chips, and then they end up trying ketchup chips on the panel. So there's a lot of it was some good fluff, but like I mean, like if you wanted to get some inside scoops and all that, you weren't able to because of the whole
yeah.
SAG strike. So yeah, that was. I mean, look, I feel that alone, I kind of got a bit of value to it because I know some people just
Yeah, it's an experience you'll remember.
yeah, because again, these are people that I see on Netflix and on movies and all that, and just to kind of hear them riff about stories and all that on stage, I enjoyed it. So I was
I
cool with
love
it.
Daredevil and Punisher. I'm a big fan. That'd be cool.
Exactly. Now the other thing is, one thing that I do like about these kind of shows is the people that you meet. I posted some pictures at the panel. Hey, Nowhere Bound, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. One thing I did like about the Fan Expo is obviously the people in the community that you meet. That's something that any show that's always worth a trip as well. In terms of, like I mentioned, I met actual Dracula. Never met him until this past weekend. I met Nefarious Comics newbie. It's like the second time I met him in person. So again, you would think that I would have met him like 10 times at this point, but it's actually only the second time I met the guy.
That's wild.
Yeah, just Cruz. Who else did I meet?
Cruz is a hunter, man.
Cruz is a hunter. Marvel, met Marvel,
Cool.
Romalone. There's a lot of dudes in the community that I met, and Bruce Junkie. So again, that's one thing I do like about these shows. When you kind of meet the people in the community and all that, and so that's another thing that I do enjoy about the expo. So now here's the question. Here's the question I was asking myself: would I go again next year? So I'll be honest, man. Now that the curiosity is gone, I don't know if I'd go again next year. I'm not saying that I had a terrible time or a bad time. It's just that I saw what I needed to see. If I don't go next year, I'm good. I don't feel like I'm missing out. Like I basically felt like I got that itch off my back after 4 years of not going. So would I
It's also
spend?
different. It's not like as convenient for you as it is for people who live in the area. Like it was a bit
True,
of a
true.
trek for you, extra costs to the weekend. You couldn't just go like if it was close to you, you'd probably just go for one day, you know?
That is true. I mean, when I was in Toronto, that's the case. I went on a Saturday, and you're right. I didn't feel obligated to do all 4 days. Absolutely. Yeah, Popeyes con, dude. If there was a Popeyes con, I'd probably get the VIP package.
Yeah, gold pack.
Uh, but yeah, the thing is, look, I'm not ruling out that I won't go. Like I'll probably like there's a chance I'll still go. Like if I know that guys from here or there are gonna meet up, I probably might still make the trip just to go just for that sake alone. But I think it's good for me to kind of it's good that I went this year to kind of temper my expectations in terms of
Yeah.
now I know what to kind of expect in terms of vendors and all that. So I'm not gonna be completely taken aback by it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it's not something you need to do every year, regardless. You know, like
Yeah.
Fan Expo is coming up, like the Edmonton one. It's not as big as Toronto, but it's pretty good. Um, and I only go if I can go for free, to be honest with you. It's
Yeah,
like
and it
just not worth it for me.
Yeah, honestly, dude, like having been to the big shows and the smaller cons, I kind of feel more inclined to go to the smaller shows because I feel like you get a lot more. I mean, even new, like, dude, I'll tell you what, the newbies rant at the Fan Expo was just worth the price of admission alone. Like on the way to this, to the convention center, all I'm seeing is text from newbies like, dude, everything here is overpriced. I c- I can't believe I'm like here, like dude, this is way worse than Terrificon. Like literally, this dude was like ranting while I'm getting to the convention, and then basically, dude, I look from what you and Newbie has shared with me about Terrificon. Yeah, this is nowhere near Terrificon in terms of getting
So you
deals.
know what to save your money for next year instead.
That what Newbie said the same thing. Honestly, dude, even before Fan Expo, I was actually thinking of going to Terrificon just because you guys look like you had a blast. So that was already on the radar. But I think this kind of almost strengthened my resolve to actually go to Terrificon.
Perfect.
I definitely prefer the small. Yeah, yeah, because I know Sith lives in obviously in California. I'm you have WonderCon. He has a lot of cons. Yeah, obviously, he has the SDCC, but
Yeah.
even I'm told like the people living in California that SDCC is overrated. Apparently, but again, it's this is people living in California saying that. So
But again, I think it's something you go experience once. Like they
yeah,
don't
and I
show
think
that
that's the
as
reason
shoulder
I
to
would go.
shoulder.
Exactly,
It's the
exactly.
same
But
vibe.
it's the same, yeah, and I think it's the same thing with the New York Comic Con. I probably might want to try those big conventions just once, just to scratch it off the list. But yeah, in terms of actual my mo, in terms of because look, I don't really go for celebrity signings and all that. That's not really my bag. But when I go to these cons, I like to hunt and maybe get some sigs from creators and all that.
Yeah.
But that's generally where my head's at when I go to these conventions. So that's why honestly, these big cons might not be for me. Again, for the camaraderie and all that aspect, it's one thing. But in terms of the actual hunt and getting gems and deals, I had way better success at smaller shows than I did at at
Yeah.
these bigger shows like Fan Expo. So
Well, I think it's different sellers too. It's more people looking to move because they don't have a show next weekend in a different city and a show the
mhm.
following weekend in another city.
Yeah, yeah, no, exactly. It's funny because some of these save vendors I have seen at smaller shows and the prices are actually different. It's almost like they inflate it because they know they're at Fan Expo and they
Yeah.
know that you're gonna have a lot of I don't know want to use the word not the word gullible, but there's a lot more people that
And
are
there's a lot more impulse shopping happening.
impulse. Okay, impulse. That's a better word. There's a lot more impulse buyers at Fan Expo, so they can probably get away with the higher prices over there as opposed to an actual comic centric show.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, listen. I rambled for about 30 minutes. I'm gonna actually show what I picked up actually at the con, at the expo. Um, so I actually show some of the stuff that I picked up pre-expo, not pre-expo, because when I was in the city, I hunted around the city as well. So I'll show some of the stuff that I picked up at the shops around the city of Toronto. And then I'll actually get into my expo finds. So, all right. So, and my buddy was taking me to some of his shops that he said that he shopped at like since he was a kid. So I picked up.
I
Actually,
love
let me
that
just
cover.
highlight myself.
There's a version of that too.
Is there? That's
Yeah.
probably a store exclusive, right?
I don't know. I think it might just be a variant because I've seen them a few times. Like maybe it was a 1 in 10 or something.
Okay, yeah. So this is just a regular all new Wolverine. It's a Elizabeth Torque variant.
Great book.
Pretty cool. Honey Badger with the. I like my video game covers. So I picked up Spider-Man, Deadpool, the Marvel vs. Capcom variant. You have Dormammu versus, oh my gosh, I forgot. He's from Dungeons and he's from that Capcom game. Damn it.
Tekken?
It's not Firelord.
I don't know.
He's a character in, oh jeez. I draw a blank on a lot of these live shows, but yeah. This is a cool one. This is a cover by Michael Turner variant for
Cool.
Hulk number 6.
Is that open order or ratio?
I believe that's open order. I don't think that's a ratio or anything like that. It's still a, yeah. This was more of a cover by. Okay, so here's something. So I picked this up for $4. This is actually a pretty cool key. First Nina the Conjurer, and there's another first appearance, I believe. The only problem with this book is I came to find out after the fact this was the digital code was peeled off.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, so $4, great deal, but goes to show sometimes you got to open the book to see. And this is like the second time I've had backup.
It's like I'm not going to open up $3 and $4 books to look inside.
That's true. That's true. You're right. But I think you know what I think it's more the principle behind it because I kind of felt like I kind of got gypped on that, even though it was like a $4 purchase, but still.
They should have maybe they didn't know either. They aren't opening up every book.
Listen, Marvel, I had a brain fart. All right, it happens. And here comes the roast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Great Michael Turner cover.
Yeah, thank you, Baker, for keeping it mature.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of these ruffians in the chat. I'm gonna get to that, Baker. I'm gonna get to that. Listen, this was only $1. It's a Jim Lee sketch second print for $1. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
I like Jim Lee's pencil work. You could get a blue label, but for me, it's something doesn't sit right when like it's peeled off. It just feels incomplete to me.
No, so I had a Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur that was missing the digital code peel thing.
Okay.
And it came back I want to say a purple label.
It came back no, because to Marvel's point, I have seen CGC slabs where it gives the blue label, but it just it's notated that sticker has been removed. That's crazy that yours actually came back a purple. All right, listen. I know you're a Scotty Young fan. I picked this up for $2.
That's cool, man.
You can't go wrong with Scotty Young. And this is actually I like this team up cover with the Guardians.
Yeah, it's a good one. And like the earlier Scotty, usually the harder it is to find.
Yep. And dude, I was actually happy to find this, and I didn't want to pay the current prices. And hold up, Mellow Dope. I've seen you on the Spinetics chat. Thank you for showing up to my show. Appreciate you being here, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of the show. I'm just currently going over some of the stuff I picked up over the weekend at Fan Expo. Dude, I picked this up for 50 Canadian.
That's good. They were like going for over 100 for a while.
Dude, yeah, like a lot of the like a well-known shop was selling a lot of these for 100, and even eBay prices. Because this is a connecting cover. I know all four turtles. People are selling the 4 cover turtle set for like $400, $400 or $500. So to find one of these, and I was actually missing an issue one, whether it's it cover A, B, C, or D. This is the Raphael one. No, sorry,
No,
the hell, Leonardo. Sorry.
no.
Oh
Raphael
God.
is the A cover, I think.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is
Raphael's the
the
A
cover.
cover, then Mike. Yeah. So this is a Leonardo. This is a C cover, but any one of those variants is worth grabbing if you find a deal on them. Because this is all the way back in 2011, and the TMNT series is still going on. We're at issue 140 something, so almost like
And
over a decade
they
later.
had just canceled the last series because it had fallen off and nobody was reading it. So
Wait, which
like I
series did they
don't
cancel?
uh which one? It was the
You're talking about the not the Mirage, but
yeah, what the hell is it? No, I'm drawing a blank.
Dreamwave.
Was Dreamwave right before that?
It might be. It might be.
No, it was the Mirage, I think. The backup Mirage, where they have the
Okay.
one it went to like issue 32 or something.
Oh yeah,
And like
then
the
I think
last
it is the
ones.
Mirage. It could be the
Yeah.
Mirage. But yeah, these were like some of my pickups around. Oh, actually, there was one more book that I picked up. So, dude, chat, tell me if okay. I asked Rocksteady this. Tell me if what you think about this purchase. So, I'll name the shop. I don't care. I'll name the. I know we don't like to drop shop names, dude. Like I said, I'm under the bright lights. YouTube, things get forgotten. You know,
Camera
I'm gonna
shy.
mix up turtles' names.
Mitch
It's gonna
McConnell.
it is what it is. All right. Um, so there's a very well-known shop in Toronto called Silver Snail, and during the Fan Expo weekend, they have a midnight sale. And technically, it's not. It doesn't start at midnight. It starts from 9 p.m. till midnight. And they do it on Saturdays. And they actually did it 4 years ago as well. So I guess they're keeping the tradition. So I messed around, and I basically picked up this raw, and this is not a facsimile, by the way. So this is about. I looked at the condition. It's about a 9496. It's not a 98. There's some spine ticks, but it was on a 35% off deal. I picked it up. Somewhat of an impulse buy, and I think, and I mentioned to you this backstage. I think this was more of an impulse buy because I was on vacation mode. I probably wouldn't have pulled the trigger if I found this locally, but I think I was kind of on vacation high, and I kind of bought this book. So yeah.
Congrats, man. That's a cool book.
The problem, though, not the problem. The issue is I already have 2 copies of this. So there's actually no need for me to buy this book to begin with. It's in terms of like I said, there was no rhyme or reason except the fact that it'll be nice to have another one.
Must be nice.
Yeah, so it was one of those books that were like I bought the book, and then when I went back to my Airbnb, like after I split for my friends and all that, I'm like I was like shit, like
That was the vibe I got from the message you sent in the morning.
yeah, because I sent you the message because I needed to talk to somebody after I bought this book. I'm like, dude, I'm like, what do you think about the upside with Miles Morales? Because, like I said, it's one of those things. Like I bought it, and then it's only like it only sunk in after. I'm like, oh shit, I just bought a UF4. So yeah. So the thing is, look, I don't want it to seem like it's a complete regret. It's just one of those things that look, I'm not used to sometimes spending. Now, keep in mind, I like this is a raw copy, so I didn't pay graded prices. So keep that in mind.
You got a good price on it.
I got a good price on it. It's not a
Yeah.
steal. I got a good price, but
Yeah.
it's just one of those things. Like I'm not accustomed to spending that much on on any book on a regular basis. So it's one of those things that you kind of. It's always one of those things where after a few days it has to sink in, and then now I'm actually good with having this copy.
It's so fluid. If like you'd make more than your money back no matter what, even if you decide to sell it. Like it's such a fluid book.
Yeah, Baker. So here's an even more perplexing thing. I already have a 9.8 of this book, so another reason why I'm not sure why why I got this. So I already have a 9.8 copy of this book.
You should get something slabbed. You haven't sent a submission away. That's what this channel needs is a submission return.
Actually, we'll get to that when we talk about the stuff at the Fan Expo. I am gonna get to. I did submit something.
Okay.
I did submit something. All right. So now that's basically all the stuff. Non-Fan Expo that I bought during the weekend in Toronto. All right. Yeah, it's listen. Sometimes you kind of have to have no regrets for these things. You move on. Okay, so let me All right, guys, let me show you. Actually, what I'll do is I'll show what I actually got signed first. Give me a second.
Going private video, putting me on the spot. He doesn't want you to see his other 12 copies of Ultimate Fallout because that's where the rest of the stuff is hiding below that he has to show off.
All right.
We have to move 2 short boxes of Ultimate Fallout. He didn't want you guys to see.
If dude, if I had 2 short boxes, I would. Yeah, that would be so. Yeah, I don't have that warehouse find. It's funny. It's funny he's mentioning that because I literally my 2 copies of Spider Boy just came in this like few months ago, a few weeks ago. That when I ordered them 2 months ago, so I literally just got them.
The guy I do comics with, he has a short box of Ultimate Fallout 4.
Really? Yeah, I know a lot. I'm sure a lot of people do. They're just not
Yeah.
posting it.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to show you some of the books that actually got signed by some of the art. And so this is one of the cool things about some of these bigger cons. A lot of the heavy hitters come out to do the signings and all that. So I didn't get a lot of signatures, but I got some cool signatures. So I'll start off with Jason Fabok, who did the 3 Jokers. I actually got all 3 1 in 25s signed by Fabok in different color.
They're beautiful covers.
They're beautiful covers, and the guy behind me, he lent me his markers to kind of correspond
Cool.
with the different colors. So this is white on pink. This is issue number. Which issue number is the? This is issue number 3. Do I hold on? What did Marvel's question say? No. I'm good. I'm good.
That book's falling off, eh?
I'm good. Yeah, this is issue 1 with the signature right here.
That's sharp. Really great. Really pops.
Yeah. I had to actually wait at Fabok's table because the marker that he lent me, it was the ones with the extra sheen on it, so you had to wait like literally a few minutes for the damn thing to dry. So I'm literally just standing by Fabok's table trying to make conversation while my books dry, and then he was cool about it. He just let other people sign their stuff while I waited to kind of.
And you're like blowing on it.
I was like blowing my books and just kind of doing this and just kind of like just chilling at his table, and then putting it back in the bag. So this is okay. So those of you that followed me on IG, you know about this book probably. So back in 2018, I bought ASM4 First Silk, and I got Umberto Ramos back in 2018 to sign it, not knowing that when you personalize a book to your name, you can no longer get that green label. It'll basically come. Oh, sorry, it'll come back as a green label because who the hell is Heinz? So you know what? I kept the joke rolling. Dan Slott was there this year at Fan Expo, so I asked him to personalize it to my name as well. And not only did he do that, he actually gave like a cool little Spider-Man remark.
Looks like Spider-Boy.
Yeah, well, I mean, he did make the. You know what the funny thing? Now that you mentioned it, his handler, before I could get to Dan Slott, his handler wanted to see. Wait, what? I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know Baker. I don't have the inside track. Although Clayton Creighton was also actually at the expo. He was charging based on what kind of signature you wanted. Like if you wanted the rainbow signature, there was one price. If you wanted the CGC witness signature, there was another price. If you wanted like a standard, he also has like a short form signature and a long form. The dude actually had different tiered prices based on what kind of signature you wanted on your book.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say is his Dan Slott's handler was asking me what book did you want Dan Slott to sign. So I had to show her the book, and she looked at it. She's like, "Oh, okay, this one's free." My suspicion is, had I shown Spider Boy 1, I probably would have got charged for it.
So usually, if they're personalized, they don't charge.
No. It wasn't. She didn't look at the name. She looked at the book. She saw the book, and she saw like, "Oh, this book you can sign." She wasn't. I don't think she even focused on the name. I think I'm almost certain that Spider Boy 1 would have come with the cost if I had that signed by Dan Slott, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are getting that signed over the weekend. to
Hmm.
get it graded. So, yeah.
Yeah, probably. There's so many.
So this is a cool one. Actually, we wanted to meet him in person because I like his art. I got John
Cool.
Boy to sign this Carnage. I think this was absolute. It's store exclusive Absolute Carnage. Back in 2019 when Donny
I
Case
thought
did it.
you'd get your Marvel Action signed.
So here's the thing: the reason why you don't see my Marvel Action is I got John Boy to sign this as well as my Marvel Action 10, but I got that CGC witnessed,
Sick.
and basically it's off to CGC to be sent for grading.
That's awesome. That's such a good book.
That's such a good book, and I really hope it gets that 9.8. I didn't press it, but because I looked at it, no spine ticks, it looks pretty flat. The only thing that I don't know why I have bad luck with people and signatures in general. Um, the thing is, John Boy, he was using like the same color pen. His pen ran out during the Marvel Action 10, so he had to go over his signature with the new
Yeah.
marker. It didn't look too bad, but you can kind of faintly see it was like one signature over the other.
So I think that'll be fine. They don't grade the signature,
They don't
right?
grade the signature, but it's just aesthetically, I kind of wish he would have
You'll
just
know.
done
But
one
that gives a
signature.
character, man. You were there.
It gives a story, I guess. So the
Yeah.
thing is, I don't know if he felt bad because what the thing is, he was charging $10 per signature, and if it's CGC witnessed, it's 35. So he just told me to just pay 35 for both books, and we're square. So
Oh, that's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's actually my first CGC submission in almost 2 years. So I'm actually curious.
That's wild.
My first and only submission that I did that weekend. So I actually did it through Gotham Central. So it's actually gonna go to Mississauga once it's done, and then either I'm gonna pick it up or someone in Toronto is gonna have to pick it up
I'll
for
pick
me.
it up for you, bro. Next time I'm there. I'll be there around Christmas.
Oh, nice, nice.
Same
I
way
think
to
it'll be
that.
probably done grading by then.
Yeah, yeah. I'll grab it.
No, dude, it wasn't a paintbrush. It was actually pretty. It's one of those markers, like I said, that you kind of had to wait till it dries.
It's a paint marker,
It's like a
is what
paint
it is.
marker, yeah.
Yeah.
But I kind of find it pops on the signature. And yeah, so these are the signatures. So let me just show you some of the books that I pulled out over the weekend. Okay, found this at a half off bin. So the sticker price was 10. I got it for 5. TMNT 45 is the 1 in 10 ratio.
It's crazy that you can find the 1 in 10s for the same price as the open order books.
Yeah. But I think some vendors don't care. Like I said, so this is what I told you guys. Like I had to actually look for these books. These weren't like deals are to be had. You just have to kind of
They were
open
in the
your eyes and
bins.
find them. They were in the bins. And the thing is, it helped that I was there for all 4 days because it was getting to be slim pickings by near the end of the week. Because by Thursday, Friday, some of the stuff were getting picked over.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. There was another book that I picked up on the half off. I think some this, and I'm still trying to finish my Eastman run. $5 book. All day, every day, I'll pick up an Eastman for $5.
Send me your list of what you still need.
Yeah, it's all over the place, but I'll definitely have to compile a list.
Yeah.
Yep, John Boy definitely has some fire. And what did Marvel say? Hyper sounds like you had a. Yeah, dude, listen, I don't want to give the impression that it didn't have, like I said, I did have a good experience. My thing is, I don't think I'm gonna have that same itch to go back like next year. I say that right now because probably because of how much I spent, and I'm just a few weeks removed. Ask me this question in July, and I might have a different opinion. I may be like, shoot, I may want to go back to Fan Expo. But then again, I'm also planning on going to Terrificon right before that, which is around the same month. So I think me going to Fan Expo will probably hinge on how my experience with Terrificon is, because I'm if I had such a blast in Terrificon, I may not want to go to Fan Expo, if that makes sense.
Yeah, man. Makes total sense.
So Fan Expo, what they so here's my knock on the other thing with my knock on Fan Expo. You see a lot of these shows, conventions, they have some pretty dope ass exclusives. Don't get me wrong, Fan Expo has some good exclusives, but I kind of find that it seems like Canada expos in general seems to get the short end of the stick in terms of the kind of exclusives that we get over here. Like I saw like the Street Fighter, Archer, exclusives that were at the Dallas Fan Expo, and you see the SGC, obviously the SGCC con exclusives, the New York exclusives. There's some cool Fan Expo exclusives, but I kind of found that, listen, it was good on my wall. I didn't spend too much on the exclusives, but it just felt like there wasn't that many like must grab exclusives for
So
me.
Fan Expo exclusives are different from other show exclusives. So if it's like a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, like it's exclusive to that show. The Fan Expo exclusives are exclusive to Fan Expos. So they pack up those books and go to the next Fan Expo with them. And they go to the next one and they just get their exclusive covers over time, like once a month or whatever, and just
Yeah,
bring them to the
I
next
noticed
one
that.
until they're gone. Like
But
I
but
saw
but
ones at Fan Expo or the last Fan Expo that I saw at the one previous and ones I saw in Edmonton.
But see, but it feels like you mentioned, like some of these Fan Expo exclusives, you do see them across multiple Fan Expo. But I find that the ones that I want, like let's say like the Archer ones that came to Dallas Fan Expo, not a single one came over to the Canadian Fan Expo, and I definitely would have paid money for that. Unfortunately,
They
when
probably sold out.
I think the Chun Li one did sell out.
Yeah, so they would have brought it over if they didn't sell out.
Marvel, I believe it or not, I only found one X-Men 11. The dude was asking 20. I probably could have wiggled it, but I completely forgot to come back to that vendor because I bookmarked it in my head, but I forgot. I was gonna ask him if he can do half off of that, but I completely forgot to
How
go
many
back to that
deep are
vendor.
you now?
I have about like not include like so I have the Pressman variant and I have a CGC 98. Aside from that, I think I have another 10 or 11 raw copies.
Okay, dude, if you know anybody in the States, so I just got the t-shirt of it from Target in the States.
Oh,
My sister just grabbed it for me. So if you know anybody in the States who could pick it up for you, they're 14 bucks. And they have the X-Men 11 t-shirt.
dude, is there any more? Is there any more? I would grab that
Oh
T-shirt.
yeah, like my sister got it. She sent me a picture last week because she was in the States.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! I definitely like. Wait, so your issue is shipping it back to Canada?
No, my sister grabbed it when she was on vacation for me. She just brought me back a t-shirt,
Ah,
but I
damn.
just haven't gone and
So
picked
I
it
just
up yet.
need so basically you're saying it's at Target though, right?
Yeah, any Target has them. I also got a
Okay.
Scotty Young t-shirt from Target.
I didn't realize Target was like that in terms of like I know that they do Marvel license, but I didn't realize they go that deep as in like Scotty Young and like Jim Lee X-Men 11. I didn't realize that Target was like that.
They service all us white girls.
Okay, but all right. So I'm actually gonna show you some of the exclusives I did pick up though. So I like look, I do have the actual Batman Beyond #1. This is I know this is a Virgin variant, but this is the trade dress. They didn't have the Virgin copy at the expo, only the trade dress. So I picked this up. Let's see. This was limited to 500. A foil version of Batman, Superman.
Nice.
The Public Enemies storyline starts. This one I really liked. Frank Miller, Dark Knight Returns. The gold they called it the foil variant. The only thing foil about it is the gold, the lightning gold.
Which I like. You know, I think the overall foil, if they don't do it
It
properly,
actually
is
like yeah,
kind of boring.
I gotta admit, like I think I'm getting a bit numb to a lot of these foil treatments. It was cool at first, but I feel like it's getting a bit of an overkill. Let's see. There's one more exclusive that I picked up. This one. Also limited to 500. Crisis on Infinite Earth #7. This one is also a foil as well.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Face has like a ton of stuff for me. I don't even want to know how heavy my box is. I think it's actually more cheaper for me to at this point go pick it up than for him to ship it.
No, but that's what they're saying is like get him just buy it online and send it to his place, the t-shirt.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to hit up Keys on that. Yeah, the OG Dark Knight. So here's the thing, Phil. Frank Miller was actually doing a panel at Fan Expo. I was thinking of actually getting the Frank Miller VIP experience, which basically gets you 2 signatures. But he's because Frank. Oh, I forgot. Frank Miller's line was ridiculous, and he was charging $100 per signature. His line was, yeah, they actually had to cut people off. So he was
Legend.
doing a VIP experience where you get 2 signatures for 180 plus a lithograph and a book, an exclusive, because he was doing his 30th anniversary on the 300 issue.
Oh, like a sketchbook or something.
So, but the only reason I didn't go to the panel was because I asked Fan Expo. I emailed them asking, will there be a facilitator there? Because I would only get that signature if I can actually get my book graded. And there's not going to be a signature, a facilitator present at the Frank Miller panel. So I'm like, nah, I'll pass.
Yeah.
I would have, because I have the first print copies of Dark Knight Returns, all four. I would have loved to have gotten my issue number 1 signed and graded, even if it came back a 9294, just to have that book graded and signed by Frank Miller.
Agreed.
I would have wanted that.
There's so many prints of that book too.
Yeah, but that first print, dude, even a 9.2 and a 9.4 is still it still fetches some good coin. All right, so we took care of the exclusives. Now let's actually go into the actual digging, what I found on the hunt. So this book got hot, and I saw this. I remember I saw this on Cover Price top 10 at one point. Don't judge me, people. I bought the 4-issue set of Spider-Man Reign. This is the black suit variant because the regular cover has the regular Spider-Man suit. So this is the, I guess, quote unquote, harder to find black suit variant.
Hidden variant.
Obviously, for those not in the know, this particular issue number 1 was recalled because you do see old man Spidey's wang in this issue.
Spider Wang.
You do see the wang. So
yeah, Peter.
Yeah, I can't believe I just highlighted that. But yeah, so and so no one can
I'm gonna screenshot that on the replay.
So yeah, so I did pick this up. Dude wanted a certain price. I brought it down, and you know the deal. So there's that. So this vendor, someone, I think Baker was talking about value stamps. There we go. Let the puns begin.
Yeah.
You're all getting highlighted. All right. So this vendor basically sold me these 3 books for $20, which is a pretty, I mean, you see the front book, you guys know this is a pretty cool key. Captain Marvel 33, Origin of Thanos. Here's the thing. Again, I'm not super upset because it works out to about $6 per issue. Oh, sorry, not this book. It works out to about $6 for $6.66 for each issue. But basically, the issue with this book is the Marvel value stamp was cut out. So yeah, the Marvel value stamp was cut out. I chalk it up to this being now a reader's copy. It's still a cool issue, but it's now rendered incomplete. It doesn't affect the story, obviously, because the Marvel value stamp is around ads. But yeah, it's unfortunate. But aside from that, I got the fried pie variant. Because we don't have. I think fried pie was at Second and Charles, I believe, those stores in the U.S. So you don't really see those in Canada. So I got.
I don't see too many of them. There's some good ones though.
Yeah. So this is a fried pie of Generations, Miss Marvel, and Miss Marvel. Yeah.
That'll be good for the Marvels.
This now, you guys know I'm a '90s kid, so I had to pick this one, and especially in such a clean copy. Batman, the animated movie. This is the adaptation of Mask of the Phantasm. Guys, if I know we talk about the animated series, the movie also is a must watch if you're an animated series fan. That was actually a pretty solid movie. This is actually the variant, I believe, that was distributed. It was like some way that this is actually the variant because the regular copy has a different cover.
Was it at theaters or like Toys R Us or something?
I think maybe it was through the actual home video release. I could be mistaken, but
cool.
Yeah, still again, Still a cool book just to have in the PC. So I picked up this. Now, here's my opinion. Like, so the thing is, I know there's a Virgin variant. I kind of found for this Addy Granoff Deadpool 13, the trade dress looks a lot better just because it adds to the cover.
Yeah, I like it with the trade dress.
The whole Time magazine look to it, you know, it's
Yeah,
almost like
exactly.
when they made it into a Virgin variant, it kind of lost some of that what
Yeah,
made this cover
I
pop.
agree. Yeah.
Keep. All right, and again, some more stuff from the half off bin. This is the 1 in 5 Street Fighter swimsuit from this year. It was sticker price 10. I paid $5 for it.
That's cool. Yeah, those udon, they're low ordered.
Yeah, not a lot of shops order them.
No.
Again, half off. This is the 1 in 5 from the Street Fighter 6 series, so paid $12.50. Foil.
Chun-Li. Yeah.
Chun-Li.
Cool.
This is actually my first pickup at the expo. Literally, like almost 10 minutes after buying my exclusive, this is the first book I found. I showed this to Nemesis Prime, and he's like, "You mother!" So basically, this is a bit of a niche book. So this is Resident Evil number 3. This is the comic book magazine formatted issue.
Big book.
It's a 5-issue miniseries. You're hard pressed to find this in the wild. There's not that many of these out there, especially in high grade. This is like a mid-ish grade, but I found this for $5. Believe it or not, I found this at $5 for a vendor that was charging a lot of books way over market value. I guess he didn't know what he had on hand with this, and he just put $5 on this magazine. So I'm like, shoot, I'll
I
take
haven't
it.
seen anything from that run.
Dude, like the few copies I saw, I looked up on eBay. Yeah, people are asking. Let's just say people are asking a lot more than $5 for this.
Yeah, that's cool.
And to boot, this is a Jim Lee cover.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yep, I got another Chun-Li. I think I ordered one and I got this one, so that makes it 2 at this point. Let's see. Yes, sir. Oh, Ryan Richard. I don't even think I acknowledged
What
you
up, Ryan?
before. Welcome to the chat. Thank you for being here, dude. I found this for $5. How often
That's
do you see
wild.
this? How often do you see this 1 in 25 Swordmaster?
Not for $5, never.
So here's the funny thing. So remember how we said hunters being in the same vicinity is sometimes spells trouble. So Just Cruise was literally like we were both on one end of this booth. Just Cruise was hunting this way. I was hunting this way. Literally, like the first box I came across, I pulled this out. I showed it to Just Cruise because Just Cruise is also looking for some of these hard to find Swordmaster issues. Like, God damn. So then he switched over to my side to see what he could find on that end. But yeah, man, this
There's a
Philip
lot of
Tan
that
1 in
for
25
sure.
is a beauty.
That's a cool book, man. I really like that. I'm jealous of that one.
And for $5,
Yeah.
I completely forgot that there were ratios of Swordmaster until I pulled this book. At first, I thought this was like an exclusive. I didn't realize it was a ratio until I looked it up.
It's dope.
Oh yeah, that's true. I think Marvel did pick one up for me from Auto. I could be. I believe he. So that makes it 3 Chun-Li variants. Let's see. What else did I pick up? Okay, so this shop. This was closing day on Sunday. So that's where you kind of get deals and all that. So I picked up these 3 books for $35. This is actually the hard to find second print of X-Men 4
It's a cool book.
Blue Label Magic
Magic
cover.
sells.
Yep. Again, they were doing the different trade dress, but this is a dope find. The Daniel Acuna variant. This is not a ratio, but it's a pretty cool variant for Spider-Man number 2. Introduction of Evil Miles.
Yeah.
And now this is a book that I'm trying to find a lot of these X-Men like ratios and all that. This is like the 1 in 20 Elizabeth Twerk Astonishing X-Men number 2.
It's dope.
I really like this Mystique cover where she kind of has like different X characters.
But it's like subtle. It's cool. It's
Yeah, yeah.
watercolor.
It's not, and I just like the subtle white background and all that. So
Yeah, it's cool.
yeah, she does have a big ass sword.
Same thing.
She does have a big ass sword. And then I picked up again some more deals from Sunday. This is the 1 in 50 Gabriel Delato of X-Men #1, Uncanny X-Men #1.
Magic sells.
Magic, and again with that big ass sword. This is the 1 in 75. So this is the Djurjevic 175 variant. So the thing is, this is a gatefold cover because he was doing these connecting covers at an earlier issue, but this later issue basically has the whole connecting cover piece that if you pull out, you kind of,
That's cool.
you know,
That's
I'm not gonna
sweet.
do the whole pull out, but yeah, that's that. And look, we always talk about buy books when they're on the low, like when books are low, that's the best buying opportunity. I was actually looking for this book because I do see potential.
Yeah, it's
Marvel.
crazy how much that one's fallen off. So it's a good time to
Yeah,
buy
but
it for
honestly,
sure.
dude, because I have a copy of this, but my copy has the digital sticker removed. Surprise, surprise. So I felt like I needed to buy a copy that's in my eyes complete. So I was able to
Yeah,
actually
I
find
know
this
what you
nice
mean.
copy at the expo. So
Cool.
almost wrapping up, there is one big book that I did buy. I'm saving that to the end. We're talking about pros and cons, right? So here's a con. Listen, when you're kind of caught up in the buying frenzy at Fan Expo, here's my caution to people: be careful when you buy mystery boxes from some of these vendors. So me and a buddy of mine, it's Sunday, and he actually came in halfway through the show, so he felt like he needed to buy something. So I'm like, you know what? Let this vendor was selling different theme boxes, so I said, okay, we're both gonna buy Street Fighter theme boxes. So I'm gonna tell you what the price point was of this box, and I'm gonna show you what items were in this quote unquote
Wow.
mystery box. So I paid $70 Canadian, all right, after tax.
Cool.
No, actually, the UF4 is bigger than this. But the UF4 I only showed it earlier because it wasn't at Fan Expo. But this is still a good key. So again, $70. This is what I found in my $70 Street Fighter mystery box. It's some good stuff, but I don't think it's $70 worth. You can be the judge after. So let me hold up. All right. So it's not a lot of stuff when I could hold it in my hands. Okay, so what happened is when we bought 2 mystery boxes, you got 1 mini mystery box. So I got a Sonic lanyard. Whoop-de-doo. It comes with a
Cool.
sticker. All right, hooray, hooray. All right, so here's the actual Street Fighter mystery box.
Okay,
A
that's
hat.
cool.
Okay, that's cool. A hat. Okay. So a lanyard with the Shadaloo emblem.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you have enough lanyards for all your
Yeah, I
lanyard
know.
needs.
It's all right. So what else? What else? Okay. If I'm feeling adventurous, a Street Fighter belt that has the input buttons of all the characters around the belt.
Cool.
Yeah. If I really want to show my fandom, um, a Street Fighter wallet. It's not real leather. It's probably it's full leather. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what the. Yes, I know. I know. That's the thing. When I had my old camera, I didn't show the clutter. But this is what happens when you buy too much, and I have to set everything aside. But okay, so
I was gonna say it looks sharp.
this is. I don't know what the hell this is. I don't know if this is something to hold my like. I don't smoke weed, so I don't know what this is, like a spliff holder or something. But is it a card holder? Like what am I
I
supposed to
think
do?
that's a business card holder.
Oh, okay, all right. Wouldn't that be in your wallet?
No, because they get crushed in the wallet. But I don't know what business you work for that it's appropriate to pull out a Street Fighter
Yeah, exactly.
business card holder.
What respectable business am I going to be working
Yeah.
for that I'm going to pull out like
No business that requires business cards
I'm going to
need
put
this
out
certificate.
like a sumo wrestler and an American blonde karate fighter. That's
You get
my
called into HR.
that screams like businessman right there.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of people are saying SIGs. Okay, and I got a mug
That you can't put in the dishwasher, probably.
that I can't put in the dishwasher probably because the paint will probably come off. And to top it off,
Oh,
a
you really
keychain.
hit the jackpot.
So you tell me, was that $70 worth?
Okay, so what I'll say is
Oh, here comes the rationale.
they clearly go through their store and fill up boxes with shit that hasn't sold and
Yeah.
make these mystery boxes, right? Or stuff they buy in bulk off of
Mm.
Amazon or AliExpress or whatever. If you think about it, like a hat's probably 25 bucks, 30 bucks if you were to buy
Sure.
it there. A mug is probably 10 bucks, you know. It is at retail, and then a belt is going to be 20 bucks. So there's your 70 bucks right there.
So yeah, you're right.
However,
Retail, yeah, but it's almost like the same rationale. It's like like when people, like those torpedo mystery boxes. Well, they say the retail of this book is $20 and all that.
yeah.
Like, I guess my question is, would I have spent that much on these
No.
individually to add up to 70? Probably
That's
not.
your fault for buying a mystery box.
Listen, dude, I'm not. Listen, I am definitely. I will take full responsibility on this L. Does all hold on? What did AOA say? Does
Yeah,
I don't
we
know. I'm
want
already
pictures
pretty good
you
at.
wearing it all, playing the game.
I'm already pretty good at the game, so I don't know. But the thing is, look, I'm not completely. I know my buddy was more disappointed than I was. I am a Street Fighter fan, so it wasn't a complete loss, but I can't lie and say that I was over the moon with this mystery box. Again, I was my gut told me don't buy it, but then the other side of me was like, screw it. Last day, roll the dice. Let's see what happens. I said earlier, I'll see. Yeah, that's about actually 1.5 family meals. It's scary that I know this.
Yeah, that's how we'll just price stuff from this point. I got this for 1.5 family meals.
Now I didn't want to end on this downer. I did save one more book that I did pull that I did pick up at Fan Expo, and this one I actually picked up the first day. So I didn't even wait until Sunday to pick this up. The dealer had it for a certain price. I got it down a little bit, but we're gonna end off with this.
So cool.
Picked up Daredevil 168. It's a pretty nice copy, probably in the 6070 range. First Electra. So that was one of my bigger purchases. And yeah, that's what I meant, dude. Like there is possibilities of finding deals. You just kind of have to go slightly a bit more on the extra mile to find these deals.
You have to work for it for sure.
Yeah. So
cool
yeah.
Stuff, man.
So honestly, that was my general pickups and my experience with Fan Expo. So question is overall, what I think, I had a good time. Not gonna lie, I had a good time, and I think it's because I made use of my admission by not just buying books, but I got signatures. I went to the panels, so I felt like I got my money's worth. Whereas now Newbie, I know he got a press pass, so he shouldn't complain too much.
Dude, he'll still complain.
But the thing is, like, if you were going, put it this way, if you're going there just for getting deals, I'm not talking about books. If you're going there just for getting deals, and that's the only reason you went to Fan Expo, yeah, you might be left a bit disappointed. But if you kind of go with it with the right mentality, saying, okay, let me actually venture off and try different stuff that the expo has to offer, you could definitely get your admissions worth, which I did. So I'll say overall I had a pretty good experience at Fan Expo. And like I said, meeting the people, like
Yeah, that's what
meeting the
it's
community,
about. It's about the
it's always
people.
nice.
I'll just go
Uh,
wherever everybody
it's just
goes.
it's just harder because it's a lot more crowded. I know that I was told that Terrific Con, like the way that they do the flooring there, it feels
Oh,
less
nice.
crowded apparently.
Oh, nice, dude.
So yeah, that's the show, guys. Honestly, listen, the show didn't go completely off the rails. I felt like I was able to acknowledge the chat and kind of keep it
It was
together.
good. I
Yeah,
had fun.
I think we kept it pretty focused, and we didn't go too long. What, like an hour and 15 minutes? That's not too bad.
That's crazy
Uh,
for Hyper. That's crazy fast.
yeah, dude. Considering that my halls sometimes on Show Me Your Halls takes up like 40 minutes alone, so I was happy I didn't go too off the rails on in terms of time.
And you brought all the books you wanted to show. They were all ready. So that's
Exactly.
good
And
too.
Paul 619, thank you for joining, buddy. I appreciate it. Check him also on Spine Ticks. But yeah, guys, listen. Wait, what is it? Rubbing COVID on. Dude,
Yeah,
you
they
know
were
what?
talking about that. Like, I
Yeah,
think
I was
K-Man and stuff.
hearing. I was hearing that. I mean, thankfully, I mean, I feel fine and all that. I mean, but yeah, I was hearing some stuff about that as well. But
It's
yeah,
back, baby. And I
yeah.
have to go on an airplane tomorrow.
Oh shoot, yeah, that's true. You're going on your trip.
Yeah.
The Jason 611. Why does
He is
welcome?
the 619.
I am the 619. All right, cool. Um. Oh wait. I think that's Paul's other handle. Yeah, because he has. Yeah, I think that's his.
I think they're arguing who's the 619.
Who was the real 619? Okay. But yeah, listen, guys, thank you guys for joining. I don't know when I'll do another live. Again, this was more of a test run more than anything to see how it went. I think it went pretty well. So my coworker you ran into Monday is off for COVID. Who was the
Uh-oh.
coworker that I ran into?
Uh-oh.
Who was the coworker I ran into? Okay, I gotta figure that out. All right. All right. So listen, guys. I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna end it off. Rocksteady, plug your stuff. Let the people know where they can find you. I know Newbie normally has a graphic, some of your IG. I wasn't able to prepare all that, so you're gonna have to go off the cuff.
I'm pretty sure I can handle it. Just find me on Instagram, Rocksteady Collectibles. Also, if you're in the Edmonton area, I will actually be set up at our Fan Expo. And then October 15th, the show that I put on will be happening. Dark
Awesome,
Star.
awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta make my trip down to Edmonton. I know that you're telling me that. Well, in general, I've been to BC, but I've never been to Alberta. So you being there gives me another reason to actually visit.
Don't wait till February.
No. Listen, I get my share of cold plenty in Quebec. I don't need to visit your province in February because I know that you guys get it a bit more harsher. If anything, I'll probably visit sometime next spring, or maybe in the
Yeah,
fall.
that would
I
be
don't know.
great.
We'll see. We'll see where the chips land.
Yeah, okay. I'll make it happen.
Awesome. And guys, you could catch me on the Kingpin show on Mondays whenever I get a chance, with work being hectic and all that. And Show Me Your Halls, which happens every 2 Thursdays at 8 p.m., which we had an episode right before the show tonight. And I know that the guys also do their FOC show on Saturdays at noon. And also catch BC, a fellow Kingpin, at 9 p.m. on his channel on Sundays. So
And I
other than
think
that,
BC and Newbie are rolling solo because I'll be away on Tuesday. So
that's true. You'll be on
check on
vacation,
that.
so
Yeah.
it'll be BC and Newbie by themselves at 9:45 on Tuesday. So they'll be holding down the fort there as well. And that is it. So
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah,
and
thanks. That was fun.
yeah, I'm just highlighting any other comments. We'll see. Yep, I do not have a website, unfortunately. Nope, I don't.
No, like give your OnlyFans.
Yeah, I think that website will shut down if I put it OnlyFans.
On that note,
On that note, on that somber note, listen, you guys know how I sign off. Listen, we're just gonna do it old school, and I'll just put it like this:
Tell them where to visit. Tell them where to visit.
if you're too broke to buy comics, guys, visit your local library. Peace out. Let me do the outro.